I'm Matt Asner, and I want to give you a sneak peek of what's in store for you at this year's tournament. It's all new this year. We're using a cutting-edge platform that allows you to see and talk to your celebrity challengers in real time via live streaming right at your table. This virtual poker tournament is truly groundbreaking and the closest you'll get to in-person live table action. It's light years ahead of the video game vibe we had last year. To test it out, we gathered my dad and some friends of the center for a mock game to give you a small taste of what it will be like. Let's check it out. It all begins with a simple link that you click to enter the room that houses the other players at your table. Once everyone arrives, the table will become live and you'll be able to see and speak with the other players. Gameplay is equally as simple. When it's your turn to bet, a countdown circle will appear around your image, and you'll be given 20 seconds to decide if you're going to bet, fold, check, raise, or go all in. The coolest thing about this platform is the interactivity. You can actually read the other players' faces as they make their decisions and express your joy or regret depending on how the hand goes. Who knows? You may be the 2021 champion and dethrone Clancy Brown. This will be an incredible night of poker for you, friends, and coworkers, raising much-needed funds for the Ed Asner Family Center. So break out your sunglasses, grab a drink, stack your chips, and let's play some poker. I'll see you at the tables.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another character drawing class with me, Avivah, your art director from the Ed Asner Family Center. Thank you so much for joining us. We are in the marketplace of the hometown of Chowder, our character that we're doing today for our show. In the past, if you've joined us in the beginning of the pandemic when we were doing this class over Zoom, we did work on Chowder, his good friend Schnitzel, and also his girlfriend Panini. I don't think he likes to admit that she's his girlfriend, but if you watch the show, you understand. It is a hilarious show with incredible animations, and honestly, one of my favorites when it comes to this type of animation, because when you watch the show, you can see that the patterns of their clothing are kind of moving with them as they walk around. So many different patterns, so many different interesting character styles. My favorite character personally is Gazpacho, the one that like works at one of these little booths here. So if you haven't watched the show, go check him out because his character design is incredible and he's also hilarious. So if you have a favorite character from Chowder, please write it below because I love to have any type of conversation about this show. I think it is hilarious. And if you haven't seen the show, go watch it because I think it's on a lot of different other streaming platforms for free. All righty, so I want to get started. I'm sure you guys do too. You came to draw, so let's talk about just a few materials that we'll need before we get started. For all these different character drawing classes, if this is your first time joining us, you only need a few materials. You are going to need a pencil, most importantly, because when we are drawing, mistakes happen, and you want to make sure that you are drawing out a nice sketch for your character, and then second material, you will want a nice pen to just go over those lines and really clean up all those edges and make it a nice finished product. Because this character in particular, and a lot of our other characters that we do, have nice clean lines on the edge, just like last week when we did Marge Simpson. So if you go on and watch that episode, it's on YouTube, just like all the other ones. So a pencil, a pen, some paper. I've got some paper here. If you don't have paper at your house, that's okay. Grab a paper towel. Whatever you have laying around. But I have paper and, most importantly, a nice sturdy spot to draw on. Okay? So if you don't have that, grab a book, go outside, use the floor. You can, there's no excuses. Okay, guys? Go out, get creative, and let's draw Chowder. Okay. Come on. All right. So Chowder is such a cute character. He is like a mixture of a cat, rabbit, bunny creature. I don't think they say specifically what type of character Chowder is, but he is definitely a mixture of a few different creatures for sure. So, like always, we want to find shapes that we're familiar with in our character. So, some people like to start from the face and work their way out. I personally like to make the shape of the head and then work my way in. But everyone has their own style, so don't feel like you have to go with me step by step. I'm just here giving you tips along the way. All right, so I am going to start with his cheeks, okay? His cheeks are nice and curved, and they look like a pair of parentheses. So let's start with two parentheses, two C shapes facing each other, just not too curved like a C, so that's why I'm saying parentheses. And you want to give them about 3 inches distance, just like that. I'm going very light with my pencil, like always, because everything will be erased later on when you add your pen. All right, so we got our parentheses, and then having the top come in a little bit further than the bottom, you want those cheeks to curve in slightly. And then about halfway up the top here, where the curve starts, you want to make a little diagonal line coming in, and that's going to be where his forehead lies, okay? So we've got some parentheses, a little forehead line. And now we are going to kind of just separate this part from the hat with a nice, slightly curved line that goes all the way across those lines that we just made. Okay, we've got this very strange shape, so let's build off of it now. We're going to start to add on to the hat here. So let's go right here where our forehead line is, halfway through, curve it around. And making this nice little line shows us that this hat is not 2D. It's going all the way around his head, nice and curved, okay? So we're going around that top hat line that we made. And now we can do the fun part, which is the hat. So we are going to kind of give ourselves a map to where these are going to be. So these are two kind of like triangle-y shapes, right? So you can go ahead and very lightly make two triangle-y shapes. We're going to save the bumps for just a second. We're going to do it in just a moment. And we're making two triangle-y shapes, just like that, leaving a little space on the top. Okay, so now that we've got our two triangle-y shapes, we can go in with our details, which are these kind of, I think it's like fluffy bumps. Maybe his hat's a little fluffy. And the best part about a lot of these characters is that they're not really perfect, right? Not every curve is the same as the last. So you can make every single bump a different like size, different length. So we're going up the side of the V, and we can do that all the way down, leaving a little bit of space at the bottom. All right, you kind of want to interlap it towards the middle, coming back up to the top, leaving a little space. And I'm just making little fluffy cloud shapes, nice, more C shapes. And now we've got a nice little hat going on here. And you can see at the top of his hat, he's got almost like 3 little bumps, little party hat looking things at the top here. So we're going to make 3 little bumps and connect them down, almost like a little paw, just like that. We've got a nice little Chowder hat here. All right. And so now that we have the base of his head and all the shapes in there, you can start working into your face. But if you want to add a little bit more details in the hat, you can have a little squiggle in the hat, and that just shows that it's fabric. It's not perfectly smooth, gives it a little bit of curve. And now we're going to be making Chowder very happy today. But if you're not in the mood for a very happy face, you could just give him a straight face or a little smile. Totally up to you, whatever expression you'd like to make. Maybe you personally are feeling kind of down today. You can make him have a very sad face with a tear, but it's totally up to you, okay? Today, I personally am feeling really happy, and so I'm going to match his expression to mine, right? So let's start with the eyes first. We want to make them nice and big and excited. So in the middle, which is not what we usually do, we're going to make a single oval, and then right next to it, we are going to make another oval. And if that's tricky for you, try turning your paper to the side and making the number 8. And that's a really easy way to get these 2 nice sized egg-shaped eyes. Okay? So now that we've got those 2 egg-shaped eyes, we are going to add 2 little black ovals in the middle, just like that. And his eyes look nice and excited and open. And right underneath that right eye, we're going to be adding his nose. Okay? So you can tell his face is kind of like almost like a Picasso painting, right? All of his features are all over the place. But I think that's what gives him a little bit of his unique style when it comes to his character. So let's go on to the nose here. We're going to be making this nose right underneath the right eye. So I'm starting with a slightly curved line. And just like how we made the top part of his hat, we are going to be adding 3 little bumps. 1 bump going to the sides and another bump coming down into the middle, almost like a little mushroom shape. Let's bring that a little bit closer so you guys can see. A little mushroom shape. And then for his smile, if you can tell what letter his smile looks like, you can comment it below. But I am seeing the letter D. It looks like a big capital D, right? So let's make a big back, I think it'd be like a inverted, flipped kind of capital D, okay? So we're going to start with a diagonal line coming right down next to his face. And he's got this nice side smile happening. So let's make that big letter D. You don't want it to be too big so it's coming off of his face. Unless you do, that'd be cool too. Extra excitement. All right. And so there is his lovely smile, but we want to add those inner features that really brings his smile together. So we're going to make a little tongue sticking out on the bottom here. And so we're going to just make a little curved mark, like a half circle on the bottom of that D shape that we just made. A nice curved little tooth. I'm just doing that with 2 curved lines. And he's just got a tiny little tooth on the top. I think he's only got 1. Maybe he's still, I think Chowder is supposed to be really young. He's an apprentice chef, right? He's learning new chef skills every single day. And so he's a little bit younger. He's only got 1 tooth right now. All right, so now we've got a lovely Chowder head. And I'm noticing that I want to do a little bit of an adjustment. This is the perfect time to adjust whatever you want. I'm going to make his cheeks a little bigger. Because when you smile, your cheeks kind of curve up a little bit more because of all those cheekbones you have in your cheeks. All right, so we've got some nice cheeks here. And you see my lines aren't perfect. We're going to be going over it later, just like how I said earlier. But now, just like what we did with the hat, we're going to just cut off the bottom of the neck area with a nice, slightly curved line. And that's going to be the top of his collar, okay? Connecting those lines in. And let's do the same thing that we did for the hat on the collar. So instead of starting at that line that we just made, we're going to go a little bit higher up on his cheek area and just curve it around that line that we just made. All right, showing that his collar kind of connects to the back of his neck as well. All right, let's start with the things that are kind of the closest to us, right? So you can see that his arm is a little bit peeking over his collar here. So let's just go on to his arm and then we'll finish the collar after we do that part. So you can see his arm is kind of like a round triangle shape. It's kind of hard to see with all the color that I put on there, but you can see here I am making a nice soft triangle. No pointed edges, nice and curved. Just like that. Nice curved triangle. And that's going to be his sleeve. You can add a little straight line across for it for the cuff. And just like most characters, Chowder has only 4 fingers. So let's add 4 fingers by adding 4 little U shapes at the bottom of his sleeve. Okay, you're doing such a great job, guys. We're almost done, just finishing his outfit here. Let's finish that collar now that we've got his arm completed. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a nice straight line down the middle, and we're not going to keep this here. This is just a guide because we are going to be connecting our pointed spot right down to the middle, just like that. He's got a nice pointy collar. You can even erase that line, keep it on the bottom because we're going to be making one more triangle. But let's finish off his outfit with the front and the back part. His belly and his back are two nice diagonal lines coming down from the collar, bringing it across with a nice curved line on those corners, keeping it nice and smooth. Chowder is not a very sharp character when it comes to his lines, or I guess with his attitude either. He's not the brightest, the sharpest tool in the toolbox. You know what I mean. Okay, so we're finishing up with that little triangle here at the bottom, erasing that line in the middle here. We just want to make sure that those triangles line up. Finishing it off with one more cuff here, bringing it across, finishing off his body with his feet, two little ovals peeking out the bottom, one overlapping the other, just like that. And then one cute little tail curving its way up and back down, just like that. You can even add some stripes, nice and curved. And there you have it, your Chowder. Oh, I actually forgot. You want to add one last little arm peeking out from the back because his arm is not completely covered. It's not completely hidden. So it's just a line coming down, around, and a little line for that cuff. Just like that. And he looks very excited. He loves to eat tacos, so maybe he's eating a taco today. Oh, just like Marge, she was eating a piece of pizza. All right, there's his taco. Oh my goodness. I love my Chowder, and I'm sure I love your Chowder that you made or any other character that you made during this time. I will show you a little close up. There's our Chowder. And feel free to rewind this episode once this live is done in case I went a little bit too fast for you. Because, I'm just trying to get all the information out to you guys. And I just want you to know that if I'm going too fast, you can always rewind, start again, and work on your characters, because that's what we're here for, to practice our likeness and also work on our just everyday fine art skill, because I know you guys all have those creative juices inside of you. Okay, so that's going to be it for today. Make sure to send me your Chowder or any other art that you're proud of to my email at avivah@edaznerfamilycenter.org. Okay, so that's going to be about it. I'll see you guys next Thursday for another character drawing show. If you also have a character that you'd like to see us do on the show, you can comment below or send it to me at my email that I just said. Okay, I will see you guys next time. Can't wait to hear from you guys and see your art. Okay, bye.